Today, first of all, I would like to express my deepest condolence to all those who are affected by this coronavirus disease, especially those families who are badly affected in Wuhan, China, Italy, Spain, and America, as well as all over the world. We are doing prayers for those who died from this pandemic Covid-19, so that all the deceased beings will be able to rest in peace. And since the beginning, when this coronavirus disease was detected in some patients in Wuhan, China, still continuously we are praying so that this coronavirus disease will be swiftly dispelled and everyone recover from this fear and anxiety and suffering that everyone is enduring all over the world. I was asked by my friends all over the world to express my feelings and say a few words to inspire people and encourage people to fight this pandemic virus, so that we all will be able to live in a meaningful way, in a peaceful way, in a prosperous way. So I would like to say a few words how we can all come together to fight this coronavirus, so that we all can come together to share our love and feeling and a camaraderie with each other. The important thing for all of us to realize is that everyone around the world were not able to maintain the balanced way of life with our environment, and nobody was really seriously living in a hygienic, in a holistic way. And more than that, and everybody was just totally distracted by external materialistic way, and nobody was able to really embrace a spiritual way of living. And that is the main cause where we find lapses. And this is how this pandemic seems to have started. And in the 21st century, it is very important for us all to have sophisticated way to handle our day-to-day life. And that could only happen if we all embrace natural way of living and a spiritual way of living. And today, now, after this horrific experience that everyone has to endure, we are now thinking about the importance of meditation. We are now having this opportunity, so to speak, to really find ways to guard from all the obstacles and difficulties we are facing and we might face from now onwards. So very soon, all over the world, people will be able to realize more that the meditation is very, very important. Learning how to skillfully handle our day-to-day experience are very, very important. So way to handle day-to-day experience is to really be aware, really have awareness of nowness, instead of thinking about the past, instead of thinking about the future, instead of attaching to what is conditional. We must be able to realize the true value of unconditional essence. That is the life itself, which is endowed with full of enjoyments and full of meaning and full of happiness. Happiness is not something that we can get from outside. Happiness is something that we have to achieve by going within ourselves. So this pandemic situation is somehow, putting us in our own place, so to speak, where today all over the world, our brothers and sisters are in their homes, are in their own places, like we are here completely locked down at our monastery. When we are inside the house, it is very important for us now to really relate to our inner essence, unconditional way of being. With that, I think we will be able to discover something very, very valuable. To relate to unconditional essence of our being is to live in a most natural way. Live in the moment as if there is no next moment. By realizing the sacredness of each and every second that we are experiencing. And some people are saying that we should breathe and observe breathing. That's true. You can observe breathing. But when you observe breathing, you have to remember the importance of the breath, the quality of the breath, which is the life itself. When you embrace, when you actualize, when you experience the quality of your being, then your breathing is meaningful. You do not need to have somebody observing the breath, but breath itself becomes who you are. So this is something that I feel is very important when you are meditating. It's starting with observing the breath is a good way. However, observing the breath is not the answer. Actualizing the essence of the breath is what we are all looking for. The importance of breath is something that we all must realize. As this coronavirus reminding us the importance of our breath and the essence of our breath, we come to realize that this breath is same. Everyone is experiencing the same breath. So therefore, everyone is important. Everyone is meaningful. Everyone deserves respect. Everyone's life is important. Recognizing that everyone's life important as your life is important is very, very key and here today when we are meditating. Meditation is not just for ourselves to get well and be safe. Meditation is to acknowledge, realize the vulnerabilities of everyone as we are experiencing now. by recognizing and realizing the vulnerability of everyone. Also, it is very important to realize and recognize the importance and the value of everyone's breath. When you have opportunity to value everyone's breath, you will be able to respect everyone, every beings, including animal beings. So this particular time, it is very important for us to realize that we all must live in peace. We all must live peacefully with environment, with all beings, with our friends, with our families, because nothing is more precious, nothing is more valuable than peace. Peace in the world, peace within is the most important thing that we must realize. And from this experience, now on, we must be committed to not to take our life for granted and realize the preciousness of our life and the impermanence of our life and the certainty of death. As this coronavirus pandemic is teaching us that we all are very, very vulnerable. Therefore, acknowledge our vulnerability and acknowledge everyone's vulnerabilities. By recognizing everyone's vulnerabilities, we must generate compassion, we must generate love, we must share, and we must care and everyone equally, as we would like to care for ourselves. We would like to care for our own lives as we are doing right now by remaining in solitude. This is also something that I am talking to myself, not I am trying to tell you what to do. As I am here with my monks at the monastery in a secluded place, completely locked down, because we follow the rules here in Nepal. Nepal government put this rule to not to have anybody come out from their house. So we are following and observing this. Similarly, everyone is observing this. And leaders are telling us to do this because they are also telling us that life is important. They recognize their lives important. All over the world, leaders are leading best to their abilities. All over the world, I notice watching on televisions that everyone who is leading are trying their best, especially those doctors and nurses, those police, those caregivers who are on the forefront. They are working so much for us. We have to recognize how precious their lives are, how precious our life is. They are no different. So I pray for all of them. I pray for all of us that we all will be able to overcome these difficulties very soon. And I see that it will not be so difficult for us to overcome if we are all united, if we all follow social distancing, and if all remain in our own homes until we are all able to flatten this curve. At this moment, we can do is pray for everyone to free themselves from suffering of coronavirus and other many diseases. May everyone be free from anxiety and fear. May everyone realize the preciousness of human life and never take life for granted. May everyone is able to respect all beings equally, and may everyone is able to love every sentient parent beings as they would like to love themselves and experience love for themselves from all beings. I know right now it seems very difficult for everyone, including all of us, but this too will pass, and we will be able to recover from this, and everybody will be able to make sense out of this. and everybody will be able to learn something from this. And economically also, we will be able to recover from this financial crisis that was brought to us by this pandemic and disease. With this, I would like to wish you all safe and healthy, and please take care of yourself and follow the rules and norms that were set to curb this disease. And as social distancing and wearing masks, and these are so important. That's why we are following this and wearing this mask even while I'm talking to you and sending this message to you all. Thank you very much, and Tashi Delek from Kathmandu, Nepal.